skills, better job, better education, that the lost decade will be a story of the past, that we will see vigorous reinvestment in education. We will see a move away from past rhetorics that education matters, but when it comes to allocation, there was nothing. And yet what we have seen is that 1 year of the interim government, no human capital blueprint, no boost to educational budget, even though there were close to a dozen reform commission, even though there was a white paper, even though there was a strategy report, none was dedicated to education. So therefore, this is the first thing that has to change. And DCCI and others, we have to hold the government accountable that, well, they have to deliver in terms of making budgetary allocation. Unfortunately, it's a necessary condition for smart human capital, but not be sufficient. Why do I say that? Well, smart human capital is not about large education budget. It is also about smart management of budget. It's also about having smart institutional setting that can make the best out of the allocated higher educational budget. And this is where, what I would personally single out is the role of NSDA. This is an institution that came into place in 2019, coinciding with the ICT e-master plan. So it was a perfect timing. Unfortunately, its role could not be scaled. It could not be given the driving seat status. So therefore, all the training programs that I described, they were not NSDA certified. NSDA had very little role in assessing their curriculum content. Most of the trainings were not competency-based. So therefore, that is one shift that has to happen. The third thing that is needed is we also need a smart NSDA. So what do I mean by that? Well, so we have a competency-based training and assessment framework within NSDA, so where trainee having passed written, practical, and viva will be given National Skills Certificate exam. Failing, they'll be given Statement of Achievement. And then on paper, we have got 300 plus training courses offered by NSDA. We have got 60 plus 4 IR related courses. And we also have 1,200 training providers registered with NSDA. So what is the problem? Here is the problem. So when we look at the occupational distribution of NSDA trainee, so we can find commonalities with the past pattern that once again ICT folks are demanding NSDA training, so they are ranked number 2nd. But when you look at what happens as outcome of the training, this is where the story is lost. A large proportion of the training in ICT courses, they end up with Statement of Achievement, meaning they fail to obtain National Skills Certificate. And again, so if you look at the overall demand for training, it is around 8 lakh, but in case of NSDA, based on the data I have received from the MIS, it is around 1 lakh. And also the MIS data itself is patchy, it's not updated. So therefore, if I'm to wrap up, we definitely get to fix the historical neglect of budgetary allocation to education. Second, we need to fix the governance structure. All these training programs, all the freelancers, where have they gone? Why did they not produce the kind of trainees that we would have expected with this nationwide network of training regimes? And third, we need a very effective NSDA. Now the good news is that there is an MOU, I'm told, signed between ICTT and NSDA, but my hope is that there will be more MOU signed such as this, and they should not be just gathering dust, that we need to really transform and translate these policy achievements into actual implementation. So we need a village approach in the sense that we have this range of government bodies which are all running training programs with so much overlap, with so little conversation. It's a very fragmented bureaucratic training regime. So we have got BCC, NSDA, ICS, ICTT, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Labor and Employment, whatnot. They are all training programs with very little conversation. So that has to change. And also, we have got donor-funded training programs that are also not in sync with some of the existing government training programs. And of course, we have the academy and the AGO. So again, NSDA can really play that leadership role, right? So to make sure that we have a very integrated, accountable training program for IR that delivers smart human capital, which is not about just obtaining empty diplomas, but it's really graduating from training with competence, with proven skills that will be vetted by employer with support from academia. On that note, I would end my lecture here. Thank you so much, and thanks again to Dhaka Chamber for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your informative and wonderful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest has already joined with us. Now, I would like to request President DCCI to greet our chief guest for being the Secretary of the Government with a flower bouquet. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for a very explanatory and detailed presentation on our smart human capital development. আমি এই পর্যায়ে আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি ব্রেইন স্টেশন 23 সিইও মিস্টার রাইসুল কবির সাহেবকে ব্যবহারিক এবং বাস্তব শিল্প দৃষ্টিকোণ থেকে চতুর্থ শিল্প বিপ্লবের প্রেক্ষাপটে আমাদের আইটি সেক্টরে অগ্রগতির কি ধরনের চ্যালেঞ্জ ও দক্ষতার ঘাটতি রয়েছে, এই ঘাটতি পূরণে দ্রুততম সময়ে কি চেষ্টা করা যেতে পারে?
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি রাইসুল কবির, ব্রেইন স্টেশনের সিইও। ব্রেইন স্টেশন একটা সফটওয়্যার কোম্পানি। আমরা মেইনলি সফটওয়্যার আউটসোর্সিং নিয়ে কাজ করি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল মার্কেটের জন্য। সো আমরা 2006 সাল থেকে কাজ করছি, এখন প্রায় 950 পিপল আমরা কাজ করছি। তো আমরা যেটা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে এআই এর অ্যাডভান্সমেন্টের ফলে আমাদের ক্লায়েন্টরা এআই বেসড কাজ চাচ্ছে। এআই বেসড কাজগুলো এরকম চাচ্ছে না যে এআই দিয়ে নতুন একটা মডেল ডেভেলপমেন্ট, এরকম কাজ চাচ্ছে না। বেশি যেরকম কাজ চাচ্ছে যে এআই এর ফলে ফাস্টার এবং বেটার কোয়ালিটি কাজ। তো সেই জায়গাটাতে আমরা যেটা ফেস করছি যে এক্সিস্টিং যারা আমরা সফটওয়্যার ইঞ্জিনিয়ার পাচ্ছি তারা আসলে এআইটাকে অ্যাডপ্ট করে নিতে পারছে। সো আমাদের কোম্পানিতে আমরা